Welcome. Do you want to know how to build a decent rear-wheel drive drifter on a budget? That's the series for you. So, as you can see, I got myself a nice toy. Yes, it's all carbon and stuff, but it's nothing really that fancy. So what I did was got rid of some of my old stuff, the old Schumacher cars and equipment, and bought myself an Mst Rmx 2.0s. It's almost a 2.5 now. Basically, I got it secondhand, and I would like to show you what you can expect from buying a second-hand drift car. Like little play here and there and the ends. But at the same time, I would like to show you how I got shafted by the guy that was selling it. But it was too good of an opportunity, too good of a price altogether, so I stuck with it. So what came in the box? As you can see, we got a carbon chassis, carbon turrets, and upper deck. We've got here as well aluminium racing upper and lower control arms on the front, MST turn knuckles on the front and back. We got aluminium knuckles on the front wheels. The gearbox is a straight cut, so it's a 2.5 gearbox. The 2.0 had problems with stripping gears, so that's gonna save me a lot of hassle straight away. Let's have a look, because it was a whole package deal. First of all, the person selling it put a bit of paper tape on it and just shipped it like that. Not the most secure packaging, considering it started. It was poking through almost, but hey ho. So we got rest of the springs. We got a gyro by Onesaki, which is supposed to be working, and it's not. It's really wobbly. I've tried adjusting it manually. I've tried changing between digital and analog servo, depending on which one I was trying. I tried it with few servos, none of them really fancy. Some of it was just a cheaper one like that. I've reached out to the guy because when I was buying this kit, I've specially asked him, how's the motor, how's the gyro, what about the shocks, what about this and that, and his answer was, oh, it's all perfect, the motor runs great, the gyro operates perfectly, the shocks are standard, bought with upgraded springs, everything's great. So to start with the bad stuff, the gyro ain't great, that's not doing as much as it's supposed to be. Not sure if you'll be able to see, but as typical for plastic shocks, now they quite cleaned up, but they leak. The front ones are leaking quite badly, so that's something that will need to be addressed. As I've shown on the beginning, there's quite a bit of play in the wheels and in the joints, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the worst. And end of the day, for this kit, including the chassis and everything you see on it, including a decent running Hobby Wing Xeron V3 ESC and Onesaki 10.5 motor, all that costed me. Once I got it, I've started checking it over and asking him, why is that leaking? Why does that have play? Why does this and that? He's like, well, I've never actually tried it. I've bought it. It's supposed to be perfect. Reimbursed me a little bit because at the end of the day, now I need to rebuild or replace the shocks. I need to replace the gyro. And there was something else. He just, he wasn't really interested. So he's not worth my time or stress. I've decided to carry on with the whole build. The motor came with a pinion that doesn't match the MST at all, so I took one of the pinions that I had on my old motors from the Schumachers. That works, and it did came with extra engine mount, few little bits and bobs. So overall, when you break down the value of the chassis itself, so chassis is about 80 euros plus tax plus delivery. Gearbox would be in a shop's 62. The steering turnbuckles, you got 18. Gear racing upper and lower wishbone or control arms, that's another 40 euros. Super soft springs, the whole set, 17. The motor is about 70. The gyro would be 50 if it would be working. ESC, I think they were around 90 euros. Then we got the knuckles, which are 21 euros, the aluminium ones. The aluminium servo mount, which I've got here on the servo. They came with it, that's another 15. The little spar aluminium cover here, it's around 9 euros, I think. I've got one engine mount here and another one not used here. So I'll try to sell it, they are around 10 euros. So end of the day, when you start looking at the prices of all of that, everything would be working fine and brand new. That would be 500 euros. I've paid half of that. Even with the leaky shocks not fully working, or, well, it could be working, but it's just really picky about what servo to be stable with. I don't have any decent servos, so I can't confirm that is good. But all that at 250, I would say that's a quite decent price, because if you want to buy any basic ready to run or basic kit in plastic, that's gonna set you back around 180 or 160, 180 plus delivery, and then you're still gonna end up upgrading little things like turnbuckles, eventually the main knuckles and other stuff. So because the deal was that good, I am happy with it. Now, when I first got it, the whole kit was set up so there was no camber on the front wheels, which caused it to understeer on any basically lock. At any moment you wanted to turn, it would just lock up, start understeering. So it wasn't great, but a bit of adjustment, and I've made it. I'm not sure if I can show here because of the wide angle of the camera as well. This or that way it's got a little bit more camber and it started behaving a lot better. I will show things like that later, but what I'm trying to say is the car came basically put together by a person that didn't really know that much about it, made few mistakes. When it goes about the build, there were missing bolts, there were wrongly fitted adjusted shocks. Like, I've started playing with this one now, and now it operates. It's not great, but it moves. This side is basically half stuck. That should be smooth. It's catching, it's rubbing on things. Yeah, basically not the greatest type of build, so it does require, when you buy something like that, if you haven't played with cars before, you might want to buy a brand new one. If you did and you're okay going over it, checking if all of the bolts are there, checking if everything is tight, checking if it's set up correctly, you know, doing the alignment, things like that, then I would say go for it, buy a second-hand one. Just make sure you're ready to find things that are slightly worn, things that need replacing, things that need fixing. So yeah, it's in my opinion, it's worth buying second-hand if you can do it. If you're expecting to jump on it straight away, just like buy it, pull it out of the box, start driving, that is not a kit for you. but I was fully aware that if I'm gonna get a ready to run kit, I'm gonna start upgrading it basically straight away, so there wasn't a point for me to waste money. But actually it's better for me to start with something better and already upgraded, and it's in pretty good condition. And apart from some small mistakes on it, it's nothing that I can't fix, I can't upgrade or yeah, do something with it. It's dirty because I did run it, I did test it, and I am driving in a workshop where it's dirty on the floor, on concrete, on polished concrete. But that's the light that it's gonna have. Now, if you wanna know more, what I'm gonna do with it, how I'm gonna build it, what gonna work with it, and what's needed, what gonna get upgraded, what not, stick around for the next video. If you got any questions, pop them in the description. Well, pop them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed that. Just wanted to show what I've bought, what's wrong with it, what's good with it, what to expect when you buy secondhand.